So Rob here, we're doing the news live from Cannes, and I'm here with Oleg Korenfeld, who is the CTO of CMI Media Group, which is part of WPP. Oleg, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's so cool. And so a technologist, you know, we have creatives, we have platforms, and now we have a technologist. And so we're happy to have you. And it's hard in Cannes in 2023 to not talk about AI and what are the opportunities. So let's just start with a kind of setup question. What are the biggest opportunities from a technological point of view with regards to AI in our advertising industry?
Sure. So obviously I'm representing a media agency. So my view of opportunities are, at least over the last year or so, because I feel like I came out of last Cannes really thinking about opportunities with AI. So it was great to see kind of over the year the interest rising to this level. But the opportunity for media agencies, a lot of it is task automation, I feel. That's the low-hanging fruit. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tasks that we're performing on an everyday basis, from campaign setup to just reporting the direction between different platforms that can be automated. I always kind of have joking say, what is the most consistent piece of technology that we had in digital advertising in the last 25 years? And the answer is Excel. Right. And the reason why, for all its flaws, it's been the only piece of technology we've been able to use to connect different data sets between different technologies. Yeah. So to me, that's the low-hanging fruit. That's what we can automate, and that's what we are automating at CMI. The setup of campaigns in the ad server, absolutely. Yeah. The armies of traffickers, I feel, is basically days of the past. That's absolutely can and should be done by bots.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of companies out there who've been trying to lead in that space. Yep. They're trying to automate, ad serving. It's interesting. But do you think that you obviously can't automate all of it? Like, what is that? I mean, I know you have, ad trafficking, in your background, right? We all have. Some of us who've been doing this a long time, have even trafficked ads. So, which pieces can you? I guess.
So it's kind of like the amazing thing is the experiences of working in ad servers, I think, is a great setup for becoming a really good AI professional in marketing. Mm-hmm. Because if you spend your career kind of working in these fairly complex technologies, understanding the elements that are required to automate them becomes an easier of a task. So to me, it's never going to be 100% automated, and it should be. It should not be. I really believe human intelligence is at the core of artificial intelligence. Right. Human intelligence is responsible for innovation, and AI, artificial intelligence, can be responsible for iteration of that innovation.
Do you imagine that, like we used to do ad server migrations or server, or order entry migrations? Do you think eventually we're going to do like an AI migration to a system? Like, is there a system?
So anything that can be task oriented, anything where you can come up with a decision tree of if-then statements is absolutely is an opportunity to automate. Yeah. To me, that's basically the premise, right? All of the AI that we're talking about is the narrow AI, not the general AI. General AI is when, robots take over. That's not happening anytime soon. But in narrow AI, I think that it's all if-then statements. Right. So if you can write those rules, you can build those bots around those rules.
Right. Because the other things we're talking about, like for example, fighting mis and disinformation and kind of using the tools for that. If we think about from a regulatory and self-reg or guardrails, what shouldn't AI be doing for our industry? I mean, you can go broader than our industry, but just kind of in this world, what should we not allow it to touch? Is there anything?
I don't think, honestly, we can even think that way. And the reason I feel that is because, like, if we set up a certain set of rules that we want to play by, who's to say that the rest of the world will follow the same rules? Mm-hmm. So are we fighting with one hand behind our back when potentially our adversaries are taking advantage of the rules that we've set up for ourselves? Right.
Well, are you worried? Are you worried about a piece of AI deciding to show a campaign to a certain audience because it believes it's the right audience, even though the person who programmed the campaign
absolutely. But that's why I go back and lean back on the importance of baseline human intelligence to write the bot to avoid that. Right. That's why we cannot forget the importance of the initial data set that is required and the decision tree, basically those if-then statements that need to be written and really comb through with a brush to make sure that that does not happen, because that will
Inevitably, right?
Inevitably it will happen. But the way to prevent it is to really have a good grasp on the initial data sets you're working with and accounting for the rules that you need to write around it.
And talk about, last question, talk about clients. You work in an agency,
Yep.
you talk to clients every day.
Yep.
What are they, where are they on the learning curve?
Very early stage. Health is obviously somewhat of a conservative vertical.
Right, you work in health more specifically.
Our agency is 100% health.
Okay.
All our clients are either pharma clients or just in health environment in general. It's very important for us to have that education. Actually, it's great to hear that ANA even recommended, saying like, make sure agencies get permission from the clients if we want to apply anything, which allows us that door to have those conversations and to start those education sessions with them.
So what's the first thing you need to teach them? Like, what do they need to know first?
The concepts
First two things.
The concepts of narrow AI, that it is if-then statements in the end of the day, what it takes to write a bot, and basically the manual process of data selection and decision tree design to make sure that the rest of that iterative process can be automated. I would say that's where I started.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks,
My pleasure.
everyone. Thanks for watching. That's the news from Cannes.